So it's the season finale of Insecure. It's our final recap, right? I feel like it was a great show. Clap it up. They did a great job. They gave us a lot to talk about. For the room, for the respect, for the culture, can we have a toast to this little recap session we've been doing?
It never ends.
Toast. It's a toast to Issa Rae and to all the discussions that she was able to birth from such a great and innovative show. So like, shout out to them. Shout out to everybody who's watching the recaps. Like, y'all are dope.
Definitely not Molly.
Kelly.
Not Issa.
Definitely not Issa.
Kelly. Team Kelly.
Team Kelly.
Why Kelly though?
I feel like she's straight up like, you know, this is what it is. This is what I'm going through. I look crazy, but here you go. As opposed to everybody's worried, so they like internally overthinking. So since it doesn't come out your mouth, nobody realizes how stupid it is. So you end up going to doing whatever.
She's not insecure.
I would actually put a bid in for Lawrence.
I was gonna say
I think Lawrence, even to the very end, even though to the very end, Lawrence was having difficulty, like in that scene with Aparna, where his jealousy and his insecurity starts creeping up on him, and she was like, actually, you know what, I'm gonna dead you right here, right now. And I think he's been getting his lessons quicker toward the end of the season, and enough so that he could say in that final scene, like, hey, like, I wasn't really developed, like, we could have done things differently. It wasn't just you, like, I was hurt. Like, a lot of things happened for Lawrence in that final episode, either emotionally or like that you saw him go through from the outside, that you could see him struggling but also growing a little bit.
His growth didn't come until that final conversation with Issa. But since that conversation with Aparna was in the car, and he was still going through that, like, oh, you're on the phone with somebody, who you talking to? Is that Daniel? You know what I'm saying? So
I definitely think that he was showing signs of maturity, showing signs of even he can consult a situation with his boys and then not take their advice or not go above their advice, and he can just kind of check her and then say, you know what, you're right. I need to fall back and learn my place.
I fought all season not to relate to Molly. I was like, don't, except not the married part, but just like, okay, you're at work.
disclaimer.
But just on some, like, you know, like there's always that one person or that there's the person who will call you and be like, do not answer.
Lawrence's depression. I want to talk about that for a second because it actually became like a verbal thing in the series, and I was like, oh, I kind of see myself in that, and I see a lot of people who've gone through that. Like, what were some of your thoughts about Lawrence's sort of like depression and like maybe coming out of it and realizing himself?
He needed that.
yeah, that's something I definitely understand, because I've been depressed before and been broke. You know what I'm saying? With your hair and your beard all grown out. I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. But yeah, I thought something interesting happened last episode where Issa kind of like threw that in his face. With your depressed ass. Like, that's like the last thing you want to say to somebody who's ever been depressed. And only a person that's been depressed, that's never been depressed, I guess, could say something like that and not see how that's worse than being called a hoe in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because especially if you're like my girlfriend and you're supposed to be supportive during this period of my life. But I don't know, I thought that was interesting. I think that they had an opportunity to do something with mental health, which affects a lot of black people, and we always kind of throw it under the rug or something like that. I feel like they had an opportunity to address that, and they didn't. But
well, I mean, I would say Molly went to see her therapist.
And she saw it,
right? Like,
not to make it a gender thing, but especially in black men, because we saw Molly go to the therapist, but how many black men you gonna see on a television show sitting in front of a therapist about their depression? So maybe I feel like that's where he was coming from, where they should have hit that kind of head on. I'm not saying Lawrence should have gone to a therapist too, but I think we could have saw more of that, like black men battling depression and confronting it.
I think social media, they showed it in a season where it's like you get caught up in everybody else's life and how perfect it looks. So she's with Daniel now, and he has Tasha. So that social media really plays a role in depression, I think, as well. And everybody else's illusions of perfection.
I really related to Daniel a lot. Like, Daniel, I feel like I've always been Team Daniel, but Daniel has been strung along. Okay, it's very clear that he likes Issa. He wouldn't do as much as he does for Issa if he didn't really care for her on like a real deep level. And I feel like he's allowing himself to be mistreated, because being honest, Issa's kind of mistreating him. You know what I mean? So I feel like I had that connection to him, because it's like sometimes I do find myself doing that in relationships, allowing someone to mistreat you or do stuff, and then they come back around like, oh, with the sweet voice, like, oh, hey, da da da, and then you like, just come on, like, okay, you know, like.
at the end, she's like, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Like,
Yeah.
I'm putting you up.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Like, I know.
How you gonna pay to stay in?
Referring to Issa as a homosexual. Have you ever
Oh,
heard
don't do that.
I've never heard this term before.
Yeah,
until
I've
today.
never
So, like,
heard of
I
that.
looked it up. Apparently,
You like it whoever you stay with?
What is it?
like you don't have anywhere to live, so you kind of with
Relationships.
Y'all
that
know,
let-
come on, you know that's what y'all used to do in college when you didn't have, you know, so y'all.
Yeah, but at
Look,
28.
look at that. He said, I know about that when I don't have housing and whatever girl you
my house
talking
was always
to,
good.
you sleep in
My house
the
was always
field,
good.
you staying in the yard.
They was doing that.
That's college.
Oh,
I went to
yeah,
school
guys.
like
Like
that.
that.
And they do that now in the
Yeah,
adult
you
life.
do.
You know we live in New York.
At the end of him being like that Facebook friend trying to jump back into Facebook, I feel like she can call him when shit's not going right with Daniel.
Or he'll call her.
He'll have a
Or
bar
he'll pop
scene.
up.
That's crazy.
And that's
He came
He's
back.
gonna be invited to the housewarming party.
No, he not.
Or somebody, no, come on, he gonna pop up.
Because I feel like at some point, you know, they're always seeing each other. You know, in this episode, we kind of clearly see, like, you know, they have the same circle,
Right.
they have the same crew. So
They gotta.
I
They have
felt
to.
like that scene was more necessary as, like, you know, we need to, like, be okay moving forward. Because if I'm gonna be seeing you, you're gonna be seeing me. I don't want some, like, weird, awkward
Right,
moments.
no
Especially if I
shade.
see your friends, if your friends see me with a new chick, you with a new dude, you know.
So about this, y'all still sleeping together. Molly said she was done.
Oh, yeah,
and
we
she
supposed to
pissed me
find
off
that
at the end of the
out.
episode.
You believe that?
when
Why,
she
'cause you
showed
believed her?
her doing-
We wanted
Not
to
because I
believe
believed her, but we wanted to believe her exactly. And I'm like, really, Molly? And you, she.
Dang, that-
His character. Is it just like on paper he's dope, lawyer, educated, funny, likes her. So is it just the physical that
It's
she's
body
not?
type.
And
It's
the
yeah.
physical-
It's
Yeah.
the physical and it's
that
the
makes
lack
her
of
so
swag.
shallow because
Yeah,
it's
super,
dope
yeah.
dudes.
Nice guys.
That, you know, I'm like, are you
But you know what? A lot of females in that, I feel like that's a lot of girls. They want physically, they want, you know, a man that's working, they want him to make this certain amount of money, they want him to not have no kids, they want him to be this, they want him to be that. And you better look good, because if you're not good, you're not even getting her number. So at the end of the day, she's trying to kind of stick to what her type is, but to be honest, she really shouldn't be looking for that. You know, she should be looking for what she needs.
Isn't it true? Women bring it up.
That brings me my final question.
Bring what up?
You guys.
I want to toast to the relatability that it has. Like the fact that we can watch a show that we actually go through like 24/7 and something that I can relate to and something that is not just like scripted to just get views. It's something that I can like, damn, I did act like Issa one day. You know what? I had a Molly moment. All right. I mean, I wasn't doing a whole face or anything like that. No married men, but it's more so like it's actually putting something and actually putting content out there that we can actually relate to. Something that is going to inspire us to do better. Something that's going to motivate us, and something that we can actually like. You know what? It's not like so serious, but it's fun.
Is bringing black relationship skeletons out the closet. So I feel like it's gonna, because this is the only show you can go on any social, and this is the first time you really got men putting out there how they feel, and women putting out there how they feel, and it's like that. Like that's a revolutionary show that, like, what show you know doing that? I want to toast out to the Lawrence Hive, you know.
Oh God.
Toast.
Oh.
It's a toast. It's a Ray. And also, you know, Buzz. 2.0 app.